I'm ready for the states conversation because I don't think it's two separate conversations.
I don't either.
I think it's one. So I will reserve my comments
I think, but how,
to the second.
Well, let me ask you that, because if you're, again, like, so are we individually, like, here we are. Hold on, wait. I didn't finish my question. If me, you, Trouble, Farouk, right? We're here in America, and a lot of our work and shows have been critical about the decisions that the American government is making against other communities, whatever. And so, like, if somebody then said or came here and harmed your family, your personal family, do you then say that's like I mean, how, like, would you want people to grieve for you and support you and hold you close because your family died, or would you say that person was justified in what they did because of what my government did?
They're not in conflict with each other, in my opinion.
So, okay. Well,
in my opinion,
yes.
If someone comes over here and harms my family, yes, you can feel bad for me, but you cannot separate it for the reason of justification. It's like when we do anti-violence work, people will always have a reason for whatever action that they have. It's whether we internally say these are justified personally. But I believe the reason we have so much strife and conflict is because we are people who are in nation states who have a privilege of having a passport and of being a citizen of X, Y, whatever country it is. And with that, there is a benefit and a burden. And in times of war, we try to sit there and separate the two, but we are representatives of our states. When our states go and do things, they say it's because of us. And so we can't divorce the two.
So, but again, like, now I could say, or you could also say, like, we didn't necessarily ask to be here.
But we're here, though.
Right. We were kidnapped, we're brought here, and we're here. So then if you're here and you don't have, like, the economic situation or reality to leave, right? Again, and I'm just asking, right? Like, because I think
that's
leave
anywhere because you're going to be a gentrifier wherever you go.
100%, right. So then how? I find it hard to accept. Like, again, like, as somebody, it's like, so I'm one person. I'm an American, right? And I've spent most of my, like, public life critiquing, you know, whether it was Bush, Obama, Trump, who was in the middle of that? Was somebody in the middle? Oh no, Obama to Trump. Like, to Biden, like, critical of specifically how foreign policy was used. And so, but I would feel a certain type of way. I would feel like if somebody came and attacked my family, I would feel like my family, you know, is like, we didn't have anything to do. We didn't vote for that dude. Like, what? Like, we don't have anything to do. And oftentimes we might not even know.
But that's also a two-sided coin.
Because I'm just saying, because I mean, we might, you know, the CIA might be doing. We don't even know, like, what violence that this government is doing. So then, should I personally be held responsible for that simply because I'm an American citizen?
You're saying yes. That's the impact of white supremacy. I think we have to understand white supremacy messed our countries up, messed our world up, messed our globe up. So we will ever have the burden of taking on the responsibilities that our nation states do on our behalf.
But it ain't on my behalf.
But if indigenous people
I would argue that. It's not on house.
I just want to say, if indigenous people say Black Americans, you're settler colonials, we are settler colonials because we're on their land. And as much as we said we were brought here,
we didn't move here to be on it. Exactly, we
can't
were.
Go here. And if we go back, we're going to be settler colonials on somebody else's land. And that is the reason why I advocate for no walls, no borders. And that's why I advocate for no ownership of land, because I think that in order to have a border, you have to have death. In order to have a border, you have to have an army that reinforces that border, that takes somebody's life. And if you're not taking somebody's life, you're saying somebody's life is not worthy enough to cross into our borders. That is my anti-war, anti-border stance. And I think that just by default being born American, you will always have the burden to be responsible for what America's foreign policies are, whether it's what happened in Iraq, Afghanistan, Vietnam. No matter what happens, you can be the best pacifist there is. Just because you're here and you're getting benefits and privileges from being here, you have the responsibility. So I think more people have to advocate and push for our governments, not just to stop war, but to be anti-war, to do reparation, to go back and heal harm. And until we get to that point where people are not only protected, but are reimbursed for their pain and suffering and have the best reunification plans for their families, like we still haven't even found a way to reunify the youth who came over here, the youth we stole from Korea, the youth we stole from Vietnam. So I think that if one of those individuals decided to do something, it would be justified and in their right because of the horror and atrocities that Americans have inflicted upon other people. Does that mean that innocents deserve to take on the responsibility? No. But that is the reality of the world that we have created when you have a foreign policy whose default is to go to war and violence and not health, community, and safety.
Okay, I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna take myself out of that but again, I want to come to
like we said, we're not Americans, but we.
No, are. I didn't say I wasn't an American.
I'm saying like that's an American soldier, but like our taxes are funding this.
Correct.
The people we elect, no matter how progressive, are voting for this. So we are all collectively tied to the outcomes.
I agree with that. I want to, because you had a point to make, Trouble.
Yeah.
And then I want to come back around to that. And I don't know if you want to hop in, Fruit.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I completely agree with Miracle.
Okay.
Because in regards to the question that you asked about, like, if someone were to come over here and kill my family because of something that America did in their country, of course I'd be upset. Of course I'd be mad.
Yes.
But once the dust settles of my grief and anger, I realize that the real op is the American 100%, government.
Yes.
And if it wasn't for the bullshit they were doing in other countries, this person wouldn't have felt justified to come over here and do what he did or they did. You know
I agree with that 1,000%. And so my point is, because I agree with that and like that point, and I agree with your no borders point, is that there has to be that dust settling, right? There has to be at first a acknowledgement that you lost people that you love, that right? It has to be first that acknowledgement. Then after that acknowledgement, after you put your people into the ground, right? Then we can have a conversation about that we've been having, right? I mean, work that we've collectively been doing about these systems and how do we build and break down these systems. I mean, we're talking about building liberated communities. That's an antithesis of what we're seeing in the United States of America. So like, that's the piece that I was saying, like that I would be like, well, man, like, because I mean, you know, I'm wearing Malcolm X jacket, right? Somebody who was like very as a black American, but very public of his critique. A lot of people believe this is why Malcolm was assassinated, because he began to connect the struggle of black Americans to the worldwide struggle for liberation. And that when he did that, he became a threat to these borders that Miracle talked about, right? So I just want to say, like, how do we hold space? Like, or is there like according to Miracle, like there's no, like, you're an American, it is what it is. And I'm grappling with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm grappling with that.